What's going on, guys? Austin here, and in this video, we are going to be taking a look at the extra points, week 6, 5-minute fantasy, the booming and the busting running backs. So, my start of the week, I like Devin Singletary at Kansas City. Now, Kansas City doesn't have a bad run defense, but what they do have is an inability to stop momentary big plays. They'll get into a groove where Chris Jones can get into the backfield, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere it's going to be like 6 yard run, 7 yard run, 6 yard run, 11 yard run. And I think Buffalo's game plan is going to be to run the ball heavy, especially trying to keep the ball away from Mahomes. I think it's going to be running on first down almost every single drive, which is not normally what you'd expect from Buffalo, but they're going to want to keep Mahomes and Travis Kelce off the field. They want to keep Andy Reid a little out of his element because when the Chiefs start to get desperate for points, that's when they start to make mistakes. So Devin Singletary feels like a good bet this week. Now, Antonio Gibson, he's going to be going up against Chicago, which is not a great run defense. I believe that Chicago has a good enough defense to keep the game close, which is why Washington would want to run the ball more often than pass the ball. Now, Ron Rivera, the clown that he is, he just came out and when he was asked why the other NFC East teams were having such a better success this season, such better success, he said quarterback, which was entirely disrespectful because I mean Ron Rivera has had like 2 winning seasons in his entire coaching career. But that's neither here nor there. They're going to rely heavily on Antonio Gibson. Cam Akers versus Carolina. This one's more of a long shot. I probably should have put this one down at 5 just for aesthetic's sake. But Cam Akers versus Carolina. The Rams' offense has been pretty dead as of late, and I think the one way to kind of get your offense back into rhythm, because obviously that's not throwing the ball to Cooper Kupp. That's been working. Is just to run the ball down the throat of your opponent. And between the running backs that they have in Los Angeles, Cam Akers is the one that they want to be the best. So that being said, I think this is a get right game for the Rams, and that's going to involve Cam Akers. Now, Travis Etienne at Indianapolis, I think that Indy is going to be just barely leading for most of this game. And they've got a good enough like run, between the tackles defense now with Shaquille Leonard that I think Travis Etienne being on the field and being that receiving threat is going to be a real option for this game. And then Kareem Hunt versus New England. Bill Belichick does what Bill Belichick does, and that is he takes away what you are best at, and he makes you win some way else. And what the Browns are best at is running the football between the tackles with Nick Chubb. And I believe that's why he's in the be careful category. That's what Bill Belichick is going to do. Is he's going to try to take that away, leading to more passing opportunities for a guy like. Now on the bus side, Miles Sanders. I feel like Miles Sanders is going to get a lot of opportunities. I feel like he's going to get a lot of carries, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make as much out of them the way that Dallas has their defense set up. Now, if he becomes a receiving option in this game like he has before, then he might have high upside, but that's going to be really hard for him, considering I think he's going to be in the backfield chipping a lot. It's going to be an interesting game. Dallas has only given up one touchdown so far in every game that they've played, or one touchdown at least. One touchdown at most, excuse me. So, this undefeated team 5-0 versus Dallas, a great Cinderella story 4-1. It's going to be interesting to see. But Alvin Kamara and Joe Mixon, they're both going to be playing up against some relatively good run defenses in Cincinnati and New Orleans, respectively. I think this game is going to be a little bit more high flying, which is going to lead to these guys who now Joe Mixon, not as much of a receiving threat as Alvin Kamara, but they've both been a little banged up. I don't think they're going to be huge parts of the plan this week. And, a lot of that same factor goes in with Najee Harris right there. He's going to be going up against Tampa Bay, who over the last several years, along with New Orleans, is the best run defense in the entire NFL. You couple that with the fact that he's been a little banged up this year, and I think that Pittsburgh is probably going to be trailing for most of this game. Najee's not going to be a great game plan starter, especially because of that game script against Tampa Bay. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire versus Buffalo. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has just been thriving off of massive plays that he's not really prone to make. I think he's just kind of been getting lucky on a few plays and a few random touchdowns. That's going to stop versus Buffalo. Buffalo has one of the best front sevens in the entire National Football League, and I think this one's going to be more of a passing situation for Kansas City because I think Buffalo is going to be running the clock out a lot and just kind of forcing Kansas City to have to make quick drives. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.